Hello, and thank you for being here one more time on Immigration USA with Kathia, uh, a space where I, Kathia Quiros, an immigration lawyer in the United States, will share with you the news, will answer your questions, but most importantly, will try to share the love of God for all in the United States, including immigrants in the United States. Today, I want to talk to you about the news that the Supreme Court gave us this morning, where we were expecting some light on the topic of birthright citizenship, but the Supreme Court decided not to talk about the topic and instead talk about the power that judges have to stop, freeze, put on hold the executive orders or the laws that are in litigation. So let me explain. But before I explain, I want to give you a resume, a summary of what the Supreme Court decision means. For all of those who are immigrants and who have children in the United States, this decision means nothing. Nothing has changed as of today. Nothing will change in the next 30 days for those who are pregnant and are about to deliver a baby in the United States. Your baby will be a US citizen. Nothing has changed for those who have had children in the United States. Those children are US citizens, okay? So please share this information because there is a lot of confusion out in the news, and I want to make sure that we are all clear on that. If you have little children, adult children, you are an immigrant, and you are worried that your kid may lose citizenship, that is not going to happen. No, that is not going to happen. And the Supreme Court has not decided any of it. The Supreme Court has decided nothing about birthright citizenship. Okay? Will they ever do? Maybe, yes. And if they do, most likely it's going to be in another decision. It did not happen in this one. Are we clear on this? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Are you okay with this? Please let me know. Give me in your comments. Let me know if you are understanding what I'm saying. Now, what is this decision about? Well, let me explain. This decision is about the ability that district court judges had to put on hold an executive order or law that people were filing lawsuits against because they thought they were unconstitutional. So when the president gives an executive order, or when the Congress enacts a new law, right? Some people say, okay, we don't think this is right. We think this is against the Constitution. And when that happens, we file lawsuits and we tell a judge in district court, and you probably are asking yourself, what is district court? District court is the smallest of all courts. In the court system in the United States, we have district court, appellate court, and Supreme Court. Okay, so the less powerful court is that district court. So, but it's the first step. It's where we always go to file the first lawsuit. So you go to district court and you file a lawsuit and you say, we don't think this executive order or this law that Congress just enacted is right. We think it violates the Constitution. And then the judge says, okay, we're going to review your lawsuit, right? And that process may take years. So in the meantime, the executive order or the law says this law or this executive order is going to be effective as of, I don't know, in a month. So you go to court and you say, Judge, you accepted my lawsuit, but this cannot go into effect. But why don't you put it on hold and while you decide if this is legal or not? So over the past, I don't know, 100 years, the judges in district court have said, okay, we're going to put it on hold, and we're going to put it on hold nationwide. It's going to be for everybody. And so when that happens, then the government, the executive order or the law cannot start until the judges decide if it's legal or not. And then normally there is an appeal, and then normally they try to take it to the Supreme Court. So until there is a final decision from a final court, the executive order or the law was enjoined. To this enjoinment, to this put on hold, we called it injunction. So we asked for injunctions, the judge gave us the injunctions, and that's how it was put on hold. Well, the decision today from the Supreme Court basically says a district court judge can only enjoin for the state where they have jurisdiction, where they sit, unless it's a class action lawsuit. So the district court judge, if you file a lawsuit in Texas, the district court judge can provide an injunction for Texas. If you're in Nevada and you file the lawsuit in Nevada, the district court judge can only provide an injunction in Nevada. Now, is this going to turn into a big mess? Yes, the judicial system in the United States is going to turn into a huge mess. Why? Because now we don't have to file one lawsuit, we have to file 50 lawsuits. And from the 50 judges, some of them will say yes, some of them will say no. Now, is there another way? Yes. The other way to do it will be class action lawsuit. What is a class action lawsuit? Is when you say to one judge, listen, judge, this is one problem. We think this law or this executive order is unconstitutional. And we think that the damages from this wrong law or executive order apply not only to my state, not only to this person in this state, but applies to everybody in the United, or a lot of people in the whole United States. So when we submit the first lawsuit, we go to the judge and we say, please certify that this is a class action lawsuit. And if the judge certifies that this is a class action lawsuit, then he can provide an injunction. He can put a hold or a freeze into the executive order that it's nationwide. So basically, the Supreme Court today said, either you file 50 lawsuits if you want injunctions in the whole 50 states, or you filed a class action lawsuit. In the meantime, the Supreme Court said, here on this issue of birthright citizenship, we are going to give you 30 days where nothing is going to change. The injunction that you guys have right now, where we cannot start the executive order stopping kids from being U.S. citizen, it's not going to start in effect until 30 days. And during those 30 days, the people in the 50 states are going to have time to file lawsuits, or they're going to be able to file the class action lawsuit. So that is the importance of this decision today. Nothing has changed in the topic of birthright citizenship, but a lot has changed in the topic of the ability of judges to provide injunctions. And this decision not only affects birthright citizenship, but it also affects a lot of other topics, a lot of other executive orders that the president has done that have been stopped by other judges. In the case of immigrants, it affects the DACA decision, the parole decision. Every injunction that we have right now is stopping President Trump from doing something against immigrants that has been injuncted. It's now in jeopardy. The lawyers have 30 days to file lawsuits in the whole United States or to try to get certification for a class action. Are you guys following me? If you are understanding what I'm saying, please share. Please share, because a lot of misinformation is going on outside. And I know that not every lawyer has time to do what I'm doing right now. So if I am being easy to understand to you, please please share this program, subscribe, put your alerts. I don't come as often as I do in Spanish in my English channels. So please share and activate your notifications so you can see me when I come live on these. So if you have any questions, this is the time to make them. I will answer them right now. And then we'll talk about another thing, which is the penalties, the financial fines that the government wants to impose on immigrants who have not left even after they have received a deportation order. So if you have any clears, how long does it take to prove a class nationwide act? Well, it's not easy. It takes time to prepare it, but in the court, it may be a week or two. So today in Maryland, CASA, the organization that filed the lawsuit for birthright citizenship, today they filed a request to amend their complaint to make it a class action lawsuit. So it's already been filed, and we are waiting for the decision of the judge. Let me see. I'm looking for questions. What if you gave birth to your baby before the decision? Your baby is a U.S. citizen. There's no decision. So today, every baby is a U.S. citizen. So the Supreme Court is making him a king, basically. Nothing is lost. Nothing is impossible for God. Yes. People can do what is possible. Only God can do what is impossible. And I believe that God is in control. I'm going to apply for my citizenship, but I have a felony when I was a juvenile. Well, before you try to do anything, you need to get all the records of everything that has ever happened to you, and then talk to a lawyer, show the lawyer the records before you apply for citizenship, okay? So the first generations are still U.S. citizens, yes. Okay, guys, can I apply for citizenship with DUI? It depends. If your DUI is more than 5 years and that is your only fault, yes. If the DUI is less than 5 years old, maybe you won't have good moral character and you will not be able to apply. Okay? Well, now let's talk about this other topic that I want to talk about. The government has very quietly issued a new regulation that imposes penalties on people who have not left after receiving an order of deportation. And these fines are like about $1,000 a day. And they have changed the rules, so they don't have to notify you and give you 30 days to appeal. They have you first, before they had to notify you, you have to acknowledge the debt. They had to give you a final letter, and then you had 30 days to appeal. Now they don't have to notify you anything. They just have to impose the fine, and then you have 15 days to appeal. And so a lot of people are very concerned about this because they're thinking, oh my God, how am I going to pay this money? It'll be millions of dollars because they deported me 20 years ago and I never left. And I'm never going to be able to pay these. And the truth is, I believe all these debts will be unenforceable because the ICE officers are going to grab these people and deport them. They're not going to let them stay 15 years to make the debt final when they know they're never going to collect the debt because our people don't have that kind of money. So I think it's just a big bluff to scare people. They can do it. Yes, they can do it. Is there going to be litigation against this new rule? Definitely, because there is a lot of abuse in this regulation. First, because when you were deported, nobody notified you that they were going to charge you $1,000 a day, right? So you did not sign for that. Second, because notifying of the debt without giving you notifying of a debt and allowing you time to say no, this is wrong or this is right. It's what we've been doing forever. It's what the IRS does. This is a civil thing, and this doesn't sound right, and you are just now imposing a debt without even asking if it's real or not. That's things discriminatory in its face, and just because you're an immigrant. So there's a lot of things that don't seem right, and we're gonna fight them. So I know it sounds horrible, but it's not all it sounds, and who knows if it'll ever be legal. So I don't think anybody right now should stress too much about it. Let me see if you have any questions about this topic. I'm still on a U visa, on a bona fide. I'm still scared. Would they deport me if you commit a crime? Yes, they will. If you have a prior order of deportation and they find you, maybe. But if you don't get in trouble, then no, you should be fine. My kids are born in the United States, 2009, 2015, 2019, are still citizens. Yes, they are, and they always will be. If your kids are already born in the United States, nobody's going to take citizenship away from them. This is my English channel, so I can only answer and do everything in English. If you want to talk to me or ask me or anything in Spanish, you have to see me in Immigrando con Kathia. Those are the channels where I'll do everything in Spanish. Can I fix papers with a false claim of citizenship? No. The only thing you can do with false claim of citizenship is U visa. I was approved for green card in 2009. I did not continue with the case was closed. Can get reopened? No, you probably you had an immigrant visa approved. That doesn't mean being approved for a green card. When you have the immigrant visa approved and you do the whole process to go to your home country and you go, then they approve you for the green card. If you did not go to the interview and your case was terminated, you got to start all over. How much do I expect to spend to become a citizen? Depends. If you have an easy case, a lawyer may charge $500, $1,000, $2,000. If you have a complicated case, then it'll be much more than that. It depends on if you have criminal record, deportation history. I mean, so many things. Can I be deported with a C-14 and correspondence letter if I'm waiting for the U visa? Yes, if you commit a crime, if you have a prior order of deportation, they may overlook the C-14. My husband is coming for the border and he has a master, I don't know, I don't understand. My DACA expires February 26. Can I file my renewal now or do I need to wait? You file 6 months before. Okay, guys, it says, would the debt be put as a burden to the family left behind after deportation? I don't think so. The debt, it's on you, not in your family. Okay, guys, I gotta go. Thank you so much for being here today. I pray you will share this live if it was easy to understand for you, and you would help me spread the word on Immigration USA with Kathia and help me grow so that many more immigrants can understand what's going on immigration today. Thank you so much.